Hey guys, so very recently I bought myself my first ever gaming monitor. Now, my whole life I'd always gamed on televisions, and truth be told, kind of didn't understand why people gamed at desks with a smaller monitor per se. Now that I've switched over, I'm really enjoying it and just want to go through kind of the pros and cons of using a gaming monitor. This is kind of aimed at anyone that's maybe considering switching over or a bit skeptical if they're going to still enjoy their gaming as much. So on to the pros, and first things first, I find it very immersive. Sitting quite close to your monitor, I feel like it fills your entire peripheral vision. You feel quite closer to the game as you are sitting closer naturally. When I used to game on my TV, I have a 48 inch and I used to kind of slouch on my sofa. It was almost too much to look at, too much to see, and I could kind of see the wall around the TV, etc., and things below it. Whereas here, I just feel very much into the game. Pro number two, and it's quite a small one, but arms being rested on the desk. When I was playing on my sofa, I kind of had my hands and my controller in my lap. Now that when I game at a desk, I can rest my arms very comfortably on the desk. You can even get yourself a kind of nice little mat to put your arms on, but it does feel quite well supported and nice. Pro number three, the input lag improves gameplay. So these monitors are obviously made for gaming and have really great technical specs, including 120 to 144 Hz refresh rate, NVIDIA G-Sync, which is great for PC gamers, and up to 1 millisecond response time. I really noticed some subtle differences when using this technology. So for example, whenever I pressed a button on my controller, it would be an immediate, instant reaction on screen of what I did. And I just found it to be a little bit much more quicker than my television. So for a bit of context, I had my first gaming session only the other day on my gaming monitor, and I played two different games. On the first one, Uncharted Lost Legacy, I was stuck on this really tricky bit right at the end of the game. And on a TV, for some reason, I'd really been struggling with it. But I played it on the gaming monitor, and on my second run through, I just dealt with it and completed the level quite easily in the end. So I then switched to Warzone as another test, and no word of a lie, I played my first game on it and I got my highest ever finish in Warzone, which is 4th place. Yes, I know, I'm not very good, but it definitely made a big difference to my gaming. The next pro I think is quite an obvious one and definitely a huge selling point for gaming monitors, but it's really great for competitive and online gaming. So I think due to the immersion and the smaller screen, you can kind of see everything on your screen all at once without having to turn your head if you're looking at a big 48 or 50 inch etc. television. So I think it's really great for battle royale games, and obviously combine that with the input times and really super quick response times, it's really great for competitive gaming. Another small pro is if you share a TV with someone and you only have one TV between you. So if your partner wants to watch TV, watching something that you have no interest in and you really want to play a game, you can still do that if you own one of these. And lastly, and this might just be me, but I felt less tired after having an intense gaming session with using the gaming monitor. Normally when I play with my TV, by the time I'm kind of finished, perhaps if I have a late one past midnight into the early hours of the morning, I will feel quite tired and drained. Whereas the other night when I had a really long gaming session, I felt okay when I finished actually. I didn't feel too drained, my eyes didn't feel too strained. I guess that's probably because there's less screen real estate to look at. You're not kind of glancing back and forth from corner to corner, moving your head, etc., depending on how big your TV is and how far it is from you. So on to the cons, and I don't have too many so far, but my first one, and it might be just relevant to my particular monitor that I got, but my monitor gets very warm. So I noticed after about 2 or 3 hours of consecutive gaming, I could start to feel the room felt a bit warm, and I kind of could feel some warmth, and I put my hands near the screen and touched it, and I could see that it's coming off the monitor. So I think right now, with the season being winter and cost of living, etc., this might not be the worst thing. It's a way to kind of heat up one corner of the room, but it is something. It's not off-putting, but it is noticeable. A second con I think could be that it's a more formal setup. For people who've just had a hard day at work, or even some of us who have office jobs, you might want to come home and sit back again at a table and look at a monitor. You might just want to relax on your sofa, recline, slouch, etc., and enjoy your game that way. My third con, and I've not really experienced this yet, but I do possibly think that certain bigger games deserve bigger screens. I'm thinking, for example, if this was around the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2, would I want to play it on this monitor? Would I want to go on my bigger TV and kind of just enjoy the graphics more, the landscape, the world that they built? So I'm intrigued as to the next kind of big game. Perhaps it could be the Witcher 3 PS5 upgrade, whether or not I choose to maybe try and play that on my television, but I'll have to play some big games on this and just see how I feel about it. Now, in terms of budgets, these gaming monitors range from anywhere of £200 or dollars all the way up to £3,000, £4,000 and dollars, which is the real high end. I kind of went for something in the middle because I had certain requirements that I wanted to get in terms of the spec and the physical kind of screen itself. But I think that if you want to make a solid investment and get yourself a really good monitor with a high spec and good technology and one that's going to last you quite a few years, there are some decent ones on the market. For example, when researching, I found this one. It really stood out to me for the price point and what you're getting. The Gigabyte M28U. So this has 4K 144 Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond input, and comes with built-in speakers, which not a lot of gaming monitors do, and you can get it right now for £450, which for its spec I think is a really good price. I have not used this monitor, I haven't played on it, and I haven't even seen it in action, so I'm not endorsing it in any way whatsoever, but I just thought it was a good example of a really high-end, well-spec'd gaming monitor, 4K gaming monitor that you can get for a reasonable price. So on to my final thoughts, and I have to say, I've only had this for a few days and I am really enjoying it. I was a bit nervous about the transition because, like I said at the beginning of the video, I've spent my whole life gaming on a sofa, very relaxed, sometimes with my feet up, slouched, awful posture, but I've enjoyed it. That's kind of all that I knew. I've really enjoyed gaming on this monitor. I feel kind of very in game mode when I sit down. I'm very focused. It's almost like working. And definitely for someone like me who tries to hunt platinums as much as I can and get the platinum and complete games, I think this will be a huge benefit to me. In terms of online multiplayer games such as Warzone, I've definitely seen a huge benefit. It's so much more better having a smaller, more compact screen where you're not having to look over across to see kind of stats or how much ammo you have or who is where, for example. But all in all, if you are nervous about going from a television setup to a gaming monitor, I have to say, it's quite a smooth transition and it is quite enjoyable. I do think it's worth investing a bit of money into the gaming monitor just to make sure you get the good spec in terms of refresh rates and input times, and making sure you get a 4K HDR display and one that has really good colors, because obviously with this generation of gaming, games look amazing and most of them are HDR on the PS5 or the new Xbox. So it's really important to make sure that you're getting the best looking games as much as you can. So yeah, all in all, definitely a big thumbs up towards gaming monitors. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if any of you have switched over from TV to gaming monitors or vice versa, please let me know in the comments. Let me know which one that you prefer. Thanks and take care.